Welcome guys, yes that's right, it's us, Ben and Steve, and today we're covering Beef, episode 1. Let's get into it. Episode 1, the birds don't sing, they screech. That was the title, Steve, episode 1.
It was, and obviously we're going to give a little bit of an overview now, a spoiler-free overview of the episode before we dig into it a bit deeper.
Absolutely.
So Ben, give us an overview.
Yeah, so we start off with our main character, Danny Cho, who's trying to return some grills,
and we're not quite sure why that is.
Yeah,
but that's what...
he's trying to return some grills, and then he goes into his car, and then he gets hit with a bit of a horn from a neighbouring car, it's fair to say.
He does.
And this creates a bit of a chase, so they end up going through the suburban towns, chasing each other, angry as hell. A bit of road rage at its finest, I think.
Yeah, I think this is captured straight away in the trailer. So if you've watched the trailer, that's it. That's how it sets up. And as you can guess from there, things start to escalate pretty quick.
That's right, yeah. We're introduced to our second character, Amy Lau, who obviously is the opposite end of the scale to Danny, and they essentially find out who each other are and begin this almost childlike feud with
I'm going to say cat and mouse.
Cat and mouse, that's
so one person does something, then someone else does something, and it's this constant retaliation. And as you mentioned, it's one person is from like this poorer background, and the one's doing well for themselves, but clearly they're both not happy.
Yeah,
and that's the premise of it. They're both not happy. One of them's wronged the other, and they're just fed up. So
before we dive into what we enjoyed about the show, then Steve, do you think it's worth watching for those people straight away?
I watched one episode. I said to Ben, I need to watch episode 2. I'm hooked. I mean, you son of a bitch, take my money. I'm in there.
It's absolutely excellent, and you know what? We're going to talk now the next few minutes about why we think it's absolutely excellent.
So obviously, as mentioned, spoilers ahead now for the actual episode.
Yep.
Go on then, Ben. Start us off.
Well, first of all, great introduction of characters. I think with you've got Danny on one end, like you said, he's poor, he's broke, he's trying to return some questionable merchandise. Probably.
Yeah. Well, to be honest. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Go on then.
I did not guess what they were about at the start. I was like, as he had them off the back of a lorry, and he's trying to return them, and he's got no receipt, and I thought he's trying to sell them back. I didn't even tag.
It was the shopkeeper for me that was like, that's the third time you were doing this. I was thinking, yeah, he's stolen them.
Yes, so you thought the same thing, stolen them, right? Yeah. And I was like, and we get towards the end of the episode, and he's sitting in the room with them on fire. And then I finally clocked the carbon monoxide.
Yeah,
is there just to tell him at what point he can start killing himself.
Yeah, so that was it. He wasn't trying. He was returning them because
he failed to kill himself.
He'd failed to kill himself, and he was giving up.
But I mean, that was a shock, right? I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
That was brilliant, guys. I was like,
it was brilliant.
Where does that come from?
But then with that, you've got this other girl, Amy Lau, who's at the other end of the scale, where she's rich, she's wealthy, she's got a fantastic house, fantastic husband. Obviously, she's not quite happy, but
yeah, I was going to say you put this one was like in our notes. Ben's put this one was happy, one not so happy. I don't think either of them are happy. I think
no, I have quoted the word happy in my notes.
Oh yeah, you have. But I think the gist here is different wealth levels.
Yeah,
both really unhappy with how they've got there.
Yeah,
and I think that's the play on this, isn't it? It doesn't matter
how far
much money you've got.
Yeah.
It's shit. And I think one of the scenes that I did like, just in the overview, is when the mother-in-law's there, just giving her this place looks a bit crap, she's getting renovated. And I thought that was fantastic.
I was thinking, is she seeing the same thing I'm seeing?
Yeah, I think it's just that Asian family. And I feel like I always see these dramas and stuff with the Asian families, and the mother-in-law of the lad is always a horrible person. I just love the fact they pushed that through.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant. But mention that then, Steve. Let's move on to a few hidden details that we loved in the show. For me, right, it was connected to the house kind of thing.
Okay.
It's where you've got two things really. One, you've got Amy, the main character, who is wearing like her very neutral, zen-like, calm clothes.
Yeah, well, I think it's mentioned a few times through the episode that people are like, you're so zen, and she's like, I know, I try.
Exactly, but we know obviously from the start of the episode that she is an absolute road raging demonic beast.
Oh man, I didn't. It's brilliant, right? She's just. You know what it is? She's that I'm gonna put it out there. She's that classic person who's trying to get everything right. She's like, she's worked hard and hard and hard. You can hear her say, like, I've been in meetings and all this.
Yeah.
And she's like this far away from just blowing everything and just crashing into a wall.
Which is what I think, because along with her clothes are, you know, almost being zen-like, and she's not zen-like. It's almost like she's trapped underneath the shell of who she is.
Yes.
Right? She's also, if you look at the interior that the mother-in-law was moaning about, it's all like kind of, and the stairs like bar.
Yeah, you mentioned this.
And it's like she's trapped in a cage, isn't
like
it?
a prison, like she's almost a
prisoner in her own home and mind, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. That was quite an interesting pick. I think one of the scenes that I liked, and this is a classic bloke thing, is obviously Danny gets the money.
Yeah.
From his, is that his uncle? Was it his friend or his cousin or something?
I think it's his cousin.
I think it's his cousin, yeah. Danny gets the money, and the first thing he does, I'm going to deposit this into a crypto account. I'm like, oh my god, why has he done this for? And now,
rookie error.
What I questioned here is you never saw him invest it, you just saw it was in his wallet.
Yeah.
What did he buy to make it disappear? Because he didn't invest it, he just went, oh, it disappeared.
I thought to me, obviously I'm not a stock expert, but I thought to me that he'd put it into his wallet. There was like a live on some kind of shares. So obviously, well, those stocks have got, because when he looked at his balance, you could see the but
that means that his other shares have dropped. That doesn't mean. So you can have a balance of money that's cash that's available to spend, and then you have investments.
Well, maybe he still got that 20. Maybe it was like
no. He said minus 17 million. It had definitely gone. But then I wondered if his brother was making investments, because he took his account off him. But I wonder if his brother was carrying on.
Yeah,
that was the issue.
Still got into it. Okay. I enjoyed that. You know, it was a nice scene, to be fair.
It was, and I think it was the fact that he was so happy. He was the thought, got his Burger King, you know, and then he was like.
I mean, to be fair, he shouldn't have took money from that trustworthy cousin of his.
Yeah, trustworthy. I honestly thought that's going to come back to bite him at some point. That's my thing. I think that's going to come back to get him. But I think before you carry on, with a little thing I liked, and he's like, I'll cut that tree down for 600, and he's like, 550. He's like, okay, and they're giving him jip through the intercom.
Yeah.
I like the fact he goes and gets two Latin American peoples, two Latinos to come and help him. Like, that's the equivalent of like us going out and getting two like random people.
For me, it was just before that where he was like, oh, I'll cut your tree down, yeah, no worries. And then they shut the door, and then the wife was like, have you fired him yet? And he's like, no, I'm working on it. And he could hear through the Ring doorbell. He was like, God damn it.
But I was impressed he still came back. That 550. And in my head, I thought, this would be you, Ben.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I can do that. You'd be up that tree. Yeah. And when he fell out, I was like, that's exactly how Ben. This is exactly how it would go with Ben. Yeah. Ben might have cut his arm off on the way down, though. Yeah. But it just made me laugh, mate.
I would have cut that tree with something different, but...
Yeah.
But no, for me, Steve, one of the best scenes, and we've got to talk about it, I think probably the whole internet's talking about it, is the gun scene.
The vibrating gun, I mean, might as well have vibrated, hadn't it?
Honestly.
What the hell was going on?
I saw first, she obviously took the gun out, so I thought, okay, she's got a bit of power, and she pulled the trigger, and she was like, oh, I like this. I thought, okay, she's going to fucking load this up, she's going to chase him down. No, she sits to the floor and dresses herself slightly or whatever.
You say that, the first thing she did was put in her mouth and pull a glass. I was like, yeah. So first I thought, are they both trying to commit suicide? What's going on? But before that, did you clock it was going to be a gun in that safe?
I don't think I did, no.
Because I thought there's only two things Americans put in safe. They don't have money and they ain't got no money. Guns in it. So I instantly thought, because when he said, I've locked it away from you, I was like, that's a gun.
No, but I thought that. I thought, okay, I'll change that code or whatever. And he was quite protective over it. I thought it was like drugs.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like a pack of cigarettes.
I mean, the gun looks like it might be a drug, to be honest, mate.
No. But the way she did that, like, I thought at first, like you, is she trying to kill herself, or was she trying to play like a Russian roulette?
Yes, as soon as with the first pull, I was like, oh, okay, she's this weird madhead who likes to try Russian roulette, and then she like touched herself with it a little bit, and I was like, oh, okay, now it's getting weird. I was like, the other guy looks normal now. He's trying to kill himself with grills.
What happened then? Obviously, the end of the scene, my best scene, she gets interrupted by the doorbell.
She does. It's always that bloody doorbell, man. You know.
Meets good old Danny Chow, and this is the first interaction they have, isn't it?
Oh, it is, and I like the fact she's like, oh, hello. Yeah. And it's like, oh, your roof's broken.
And then she's like, oh, hello, welcome, random stranger, come into my house and assess my roof.
I did think that. At one point, I thought she was going to try and fuck him. Like, I wondered if that was like how it was going to start.
I thought that because they were a bit flirtatious to begin with.
Yeah, so I wondered if she was like just going to like fuck him, and she didn't. And obviously,
let me introduce you to my gun.
Yeah, and this leads me on to I've got two favourite scenes. Okay, I like them both.
Yeah,
but that directly leads us into the very end. It's like, can I use your toilet, please? And obviously, we'd seen this a little bit in the trailer. I was like, how did he get to that point? And he's gone in there, and he's gone a while.
Yeah.
And you see him go, and she comes out, she goes, oh, I can have this. He's like, no, I need to go. And then she walks in, she opens the door, and he's pissed everywhere. And my first thought was, that's a lot of piss.
Yeah.
And then my second thought was, that piss is quite yellow. That man needs a drink. Someone needs to get that man a drink, because that is not the right colour for piss.
Yeah, but he's obviously didn't get his money from the returns of his girls. He hasn't been he can't afford to buy much,
I think can you
healthy food.
He bought a Burger King. I'm pretty sure you can buy. I know America's mental.
He wolfed down about 20 burgers.
Yeah,
as well.
That's what I'm saying. I think he could have bought a bottle of water. You know what I mean? Americans love that, don't they? A bottle of water wherever they go, but they love that. But I feel like in America, probably can get water. It is a first world country, I'm told. So
it was a great scene.
It was, and I love the fact she chased him down, and at the very end, she memorises the number plate.
Yeah, and she has a smile on her face.
Yeah,
she's like, I love this. The chase has begun. The game is afoot.
And speaking of chases, I don't think we can not talk about it. The car scene at the start, the car chase, it's just...
Oh, yeah. That was...
it's brilliant, because the funny thing is, Ben, I was watching it, and when she, reversed and she bibs on, I'm like, oh, it's a bit of a knobhead thing to do, isn't it? I was like, I'd be mad at this point if I reversed...
Yeah, because she held that horn for quite long.
Yeah, and I'd missed it. I'd been like, right, I'm sorry. Right, you're holding that horn a bit much now. Stop taking the piss.
Yeah.
And then when he starts hunting her down, in my head, mate, I'm thinking, I reckon Ben would do this. I reckon Ben could be driven crazy enough.
I could.
To chase down a random woman.
You push the buttons, I can do it.
And I just thought this is exactly how Ben would drive. Yeah. And I just love the car scene where he keeps coming in. And she swipes him off a little bit and they go over the flowers. I love that scene came back up as well later on.
Yeah.
Where someone had got a ring doorbell. Yeah.
It's all about the ring doorbell.
It was about the ring. I imagine Netflix had a little bit of product placement in there with those ring doorbells.
They did. Good on you, bravo. Right, anyway then, Steve, with that ending, I know it's hard to predict the whole show, because obviously it's all on Netflix anyway, and we've not really watched anything past episode 1, but what are you predicting that is going to happen?
So I think we're going to get a few more episodes of this cat and mouse play, I expect.
100%.
I think they're going to fuck at some point. I do not think she's happy with her husband. Her husband was so condescending, like, oh, have you written it down in your cool books? And I'm like, I'd have punched that man. Yeah. If I'd have said that to my wife would have decked me.
Or maybe he's like a secret anger.
I don't know. I think he's just really chill.
He's got a bigger safe with a bigger gun.
Bigger gun, yeah. But I think they're gonna mess about. They're gonna get to a point where they nearly kill each other, and then they're gonna do the deed, and they're gonna carry on trying to do these mad things.
I reckon they're gonna do the deed, and then do the deed by killing the husband.
You think they're gonna kill the husband?
Yeah, and then I'm even jumping out to a season 2 here, where good old their cousin Isaac, he's going to be on the case, and they're going to have to track down him, and the cat and mouse begins with him then, who's slightly more dangerous. So
you're seeing them basically try and kill each other and then go, let's tag team, and we'll go after Isaac.
It's all about the crypto money. He's lost 20 grand. That's going to come back at some point.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Isaac just gave him the money though for nothing. I wasn't sure if it was a loan.
They don't. He was the one from jail. He's giving the money. He's going to come back and say, where's my money?
Where's my 20 grand?
Okay, I'm going to break your legs then instead.
Oh, okay, so that's where you're going then.
That's where I'm going with it. Okay.
Right then, anyway guys, let us know if you've watched episode 1. Let us know if you would carry it on. And let us know if you too would chase down a random woman in a car for honking the horn.